Hi, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ottavia and I have a really huge, massive book haul, aka my birthday book haul video. So basically, last week was my birthday. I turned 32 and I actually bought more than 20 books. I think I counted them. I have 23 books. And it's a lot. I know it's a lot. But I only turned 32 once, right? And I decided to splurge for like mid-April until now. And I'm gonna cut it down a little bit because I have too many books that I want to read them all. But, you know, what can I say? But I had a really great time. I was on holiday for a few days. I didn't vlog anything. I just wanted to rest and chill and do whatever I wanted to do. Also, a friend of mine from Italy came to see me for my birthday. What I basically did is on my actual day, my actual birthday, I went to buy books, of course. Then I had a nice dinner in this amazing restaurant in Soho. Then the next day my friend came, we went out for drinks. And then on Saturday we went to 66 Books, which I bought more books. And then on Sunday I took my friends back to the airport because she went back to Italy, and it was just an exploring day around. And I had the best time ever. I haven't had like a good birthday like since like 2 years, so I'm really happy that I had a really good time. How can I say? It's gonna be divided a little bit in some segments. So the first one is gonna be World of Books because I bought some books from them online. Second would be some Waterstone. The third one would be Forbidden Planet. Then more Waterstone, and then 66 Books. Why I divided the two Waterstone? I'll explain later. Anyway, without further ado, let's go and I'll show you the books that I got. Please, if you leave in the comments if you like this video, if you want to follow me, just click the subscribe button, like this video, and yeah, let's do it. So the first one is World of Books. So World of Books is an online store where you can buy books, new or old, and you can actually sell your own books. And I went there for like a particular book that I couldn't find anywhere, and I found it there. And plus I added more because they had some kind of discount at that time that I was buying things. This I'm talking about mid-April. And I got this 5 books. So the first one that I want to show you is actually 2 together because it's the second book and a third book in the Tristan and Isolde trilogy by Rosalind Miles, with the second one being The Maid of the White Hands and the third one is The Lady of the Sea. I love Rosalind Miles. I read Tristan and Isolde last month, I think. Yeah, it was April. And I read the Guinevere trilogies from her last year, and I want to continue. And this one was a book that I couldn't find. One, I found it on Amazon, but it was super expensive and I didn't want it to buy a paperback more than £20. But I found this one for a good price, so I got them, and I can't wait to dive in again to this world and just I can't wait because I love Rosalind Miles so much, and Isolde as well, but I can't wait. Next one is a book from an author that I've never read from, and it's V. Schwab, and I got The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I hope I said the name correctly. And can you imagine then that I basically been reading books for more than 10 years and I haven't read a book from V. Schwab? And I have one book from her in my bookcase on the other side, but I never did. I think I'm kind of scared. So I decided to get this one. Hopefully it's good. I heard good things, but I don't know why. I'm afraid. I'm literally afraid. By the way, we need to cover this part of the top because there's someone that said it's a good book, but we don't follow this author. So I'm so sorry that I made you see the name, but anyway, let's just see if it's not there. And I'm really excited to see what I think of it. Next one is a book that I've seen around, but I didn't know if I wanted at the time, so I waited, and then that one was half price, so I got it. And it's The Servant of Earth by Sarah Holley. What I remember about this book is that she's human, this girl, she's a servant to the Fae, and she has to help the Fae master, let's call it like that, I don't know, to do some kind of trials. So yeah, this is kind of what I know. And I love the cover, first of all. And I'll see what if I like it or not. I've never read anything from Summer Holly. I'm not sure it's the first book or she did other books. No, I think she did other ones, but I never read anything from her. Oh, she's the one that did Witch Guides to Fake Dating a Demon. Okay, I've seen that book around, also with the other two, but I've never read them. I don't think it's my right cup of tea, like those books. Maybe I would try, but I want to try with this one first and then we'll see. And then the next one is The Half King by Melissa Landers. I've seen a few videos now of people reading it and be like, ooh, I do like it, but at the same time I don't. So I'm a little bit scared of reading it, but I want to read it anyway because it sounds really interesting. And it's about this guy, or I think the prince or the king, a king, that is a normal king by day, but a shadow by night. And I think they want to try and find a cure, and then this girl that can help him in some way. But we'll see if I like it. I think the second one, I don't know if it's out already or it's going to come out soon, but I'm really interested. And I know that there's so many books about shadow daddies or like all about shadows, but let's see if this was going to be good, because the last two books that I basically reading about shadows was To Kill a Shadow, but the guy wasn't actually the shadow. I don't think it's a spoiler, but I know I'm not that. And then Lilac, where there was the shadow guy, which I didn't like. I didn't like Lilac by Alex Asta, unfortunately. So we'll see this one if I like it or not. And we're still in April, because during Easter, Waterstone decided to do double stamps. So I got 3 books, because why not, right? So the first one is The Wind Weaver by Julie Johnson. And I've heard so many people talking really well. They said that this is a good book. And I'm so happy I got it. And even the girl that I was in Waterstone and I was buying the book, she was like, oh my god, this book is amazing. I'm so happy you buying it. And I was like, oh, yeah, I know. It sounds really interesting. And I read it a little bit, but I don't want to I don't like to spoil myself much in a synopsis. I like to read a few bits and bobs just because I want to just go in blind sometimes. But it's a prophecy reignited, a storm unleashed, a love that could shatter everything. And I think that the girl is sentenced to death, but at the last minute, someone decided to take her in because she can help the person doing something, because she's like halfling. And sounds interesting. I can't wait. Then the second one is The Heavenly Bodies by Imani Eriu. I decided to buy it. There was a beautiful copy in Waterstone a couple of weeks ago, or maybe March, but it was too expensive. And I got this one. I saw it, and then double stamp, and I was like, okay. And I think it's all about stars and astrology, and I think that this girl family died because of a star, I think, and there are gods in there. Anyway, people love this book, so I want to be a part of it, so hopefully I will be the one also liking it as well. Doing all of this because I had already £10 in my Waterstone kind of points, and I was so close to get to 10 more, so to get 20. So that's why I bought this one, because I double stamped and I could actually arrive there really quickly. So that's why. And then I got The Raven Scholar by Antonia Hodgson with this beautiful edition like this. Really, really beautiful. I love it. I love the purple. And inside here is that. After 24 years on the throne, it is time for Bergson the Brusque, Emperor of Oron, to bring his reign to an end. In the dizzying heat of midsummer, 7 contenders will compete to replace him. And these 7 contenders are actually inspired by a sacred animal. So we have a fox, a raven, tiger, ox, bear, monkey, and hound. But then there's an 8th, which is the dragon proxy, that is going to be revealed after the trials have begun. But the problem is that one of them is murdered. So, at my alley, I really hope I will like it. I haven't heard people talking about this book, so I hope it's good. After buying books in this particular month, which is April, my birthday came. So we're gonna start finally the birthday haul, where I went first to Forbidden Planet because I love that place. And sometimes there's a nice bargain. Sometimes you can have £2 or £3 off. You have lots of them signed. And I know that they open one in Camden. So hopefully I will go. But I haven't gone there yet. I went the one near Shaftesbury Avenue. So yeah, I got 3 over there. So the first one is Scotch Eye by E.J. Mello. Is The Way of Wings book 1. Look at the cover. It's so freaking beautiful. And it's about this girl that she's trying to survive because she's a child of a forbidden union. And then there's a crown prince that is forced to fulfill his father every whim. And then I think they kind of connect because I think the father got taken by the guards. So she's trying to take him out of there, and then they meet, and so on, so on, so on. I think I was drawn by the cover more than the actual synopsis, but I'm interested as well. And there was also the version hardback, but I like how floppy it is, so I kept it like this. Alright, next one is The Spellbound by Georgia Layton. And is it a signed copy? Da-da. And I sometimes need to buy books that are a little bit different from what I usually read, because I mainly read fantasy, right? In general, like a general genre. But sometimes I need to have something else that is not like a epic fantasy or romantasy. So this one is a retelling of Sleeping Beauty, but where the Sleeping Beauty is not actually sleeping. She can't go to sleep. And I don't think there's a prince that is gonna kiss her to wake her up, because of course she's always awake. So I just want to see how it is. And hopefully, I do like some kind of retelling like this. So hopefully this one will be up my alley as well. And the last one is The Forest King's Daughter by Ellie Blake. I love the cover, again, first of all. And it sounds really interesting. Look also the map. I love it. And I think it's about this boy demon that gives to a girl this ring, thinking that it's just a trinket. But instead, this ring or this situation made, how can I say, like, war between the humans and demon. And she's actually, after she grown up, really strong with this ring. So the demon is trying to take it back, and there's some trials and things like that. And I am super interested. And of course, all the books that I bought are part of a series or trilogy. None of them, I think, are just standalone, but it is what it is. It's always like this. Okay, now we go back to Waterstone. All right, so I used my £20, which I was so happy about, and I got The Phoenix King by Aparna Verma. And you have this kingdom that actually, this is a new voice in a fantasy that is Indian inspired. Action-packed debut of fire magic and ancient prophecy. And you have this kingdom called Veravani that was born of a prophecy cut from unforgiving desert sands and ruled by Raven's bloodline, those with the power to command the eternal fire. So you have Elena Adia, that is the heir to a throne, and then you have Yasen Knight, which is an assassin who now claims fealty to the throne. So there's going to be a problem in there, and I'm sure there's some threats and war on the horizon, and yeah, so sign me in. Now, okay, this one, I bought The Bridge Kingdom by Danielle L. Jensen because I finished A Fate in Blood really quickly, and I loved it, and I want to read more books from her because I love her writing style. It's so fast-paced, and I love this cover. I've seen before like the previous covers, but this one I prefer the most, and I want to read it. And it's about this princess that was raised as a warrior, but she has to basically marry a king. And the thing is that she hates him, or there's anyway problem between, I think, the kingdom, if I'm not mistaken. But after that, she started to get feelings for this guy. And I can't wait to read this one. Alright, the next one is a romance book. And I haven't actually held a romance book in a while. And is What If I Never Get Over You by Paige, and unfortunately this sticker's there, Paige Toon. It's about these two people that meet in Lisbon for 3 days. They have a lot of time, and I think they kind of fell in love in a way, like a instant lovey-dovey thing. They try to re-meet, but one of them didn't get there. So after 6 years of this, of all situation that they didn't talk at all, the girl actually meets him in Wales randomly. So we'll see. Hopefully I will like it. I hope so. Next one is The Full Moon Coffee Shop by Mai Mochizuki, translated by Jessie Kirkwood. I've never read any books like this before, but I love cats, so I decided to get it, of course, because it was buy one get half out price, and I got also the romance book. And it's about this coffee shop, a Kyoto coffee shop that appears only where and when it's needed, and is run by talking cats. So it's basically, I think that if you have a problem, the coffee shop appears and you're there and you serve by the cats, and I'm sure that it's going to be relieving for everyone's souls. So, we'll see. Next one is Inanna by Emily H. Wilson, and I'm really interested about this book because we are in ancient Mesopotamia. It's a little bit different from all the other books that I get, like to actually see a little bit of like a fantasy books, but not really historical, but in that world anyway. And here you will see Gilgamesh as well, which is really, really cool. And it's about this girl Inanna that is an impossibility, the first full Anunnaki born on Earth in ancient Mesopotamia. Crowned the goddess of love by the 12 immortal Anunnaki who are worshipped across Sumer. She is destined for greatness, but Inanna is born into a time of war. Gilgamesh, as mortal human son of the Anunnaki and notorious womanizer, finds himself captured in prison, and his captor, King Akka, seeks to distance himself and his people from the gods. Arrogant and selfish, Gilgamesh is given one final chance to prove himself. And I think that everything comes up. Whenever I read you things, I try not to read it all because I'm like, I don't know, I don't want to know much, but I'm really interested. And of course it's part of a trilogy, and this is the first book. But then, 2 days ago, this book came out, and I didn't know, but I got it because I found it signed and limited edition. A Curse Carved in Bone, The Saga of My Fated Book 2 by Danielle L. Jensen. Look at that! The sprayed edges and the inside, and also is it signed? Okay, I didn't know when I was reading A Fated in Blood that it's going to be a duology or a series or whatever. So when I finished it and then I would check to make it like a read, I saw that the second one was coming the 15th of May, and I was like, oh my god, that's great! And I bought it the 14th, today the 15th of May. And I am so happy to finish it. It's a duology, so that's great. So I read this one and another one done. And I'm so excited because I love The Fated in Blood so much. And it's about this girl, Farah, that she has a power of one god. And she can create basically a shield of herself. And there's people that want her because it's a really important power to have. And here is in the Viking world, there are some people that actually, when they're born, they have a blood of specific gods, and she has one of them. And I loved it. I flew by, or like I read it really quickly, and I can't wait to read this one and finish a duology. Now, the last segment is 66 books, which, if you are not in England, or if you're not in UK and you don't know, but 66 books is basically a warehouse where there are books and they're only open for companies to basically buy the books, right? But they decided to create the 66 Books Club which is a club, kind of, but not really, when people basically go there because it's open to the public in certain time of the month. Usually they're open 2 weekends per month, and you can find everything information in their Facebook page or on the site, and I'm gonna link everything down below for that. The thing is that if you get there not during those days, you are not allowed in there. Every book is 70% off from retail price, which is, oh my god, amazing. But you need to be careful. You need to make sure that what you buy, it stays with you. You can't return it. And everyone has been raving about this place. I've been many times. I think this one was my 3rd or 4th time. And it's nice to go sometimes. Not every time, maybe, but it was good. So I got There's No Song by Sally Gardner. And one thing about 66 Books is like, it's not like a Waterstone. It's not like a bookshop. So a lot of these books maybe you can find in other places, and also they're not as popular as well, which I love. So that's why, for example, this one, I would have never picked it up if I were there, or if I were in a different area, but then instead there, yes. So it's about women imprisoned by superstition, chained by guilt. Petra Mountain, a land of ancient forest, is a village rife with secrets. Cut off from the outside world, it is run by the eldest men to whom tradition is all. Edith lives alone with her clotty father, who is forcing her to marry the village butcher. But she's in love with a shepherd who promised to return to her. As the village becomes isolated in a sea of snow, Edith loses her power of speech, and it is this enchantment that will have far-reaching consequences, not only for Edith, but for the whole village. Sounds interesting. Then we have Mermaid Mood by Suzanne Kokal. And we're talking about mermaids, of course. And Sana is a mermaid, but she's only half thievish. She was born to a landish mother, and the witch who delivered her cast a spell that made her people and her mother forget her birth. Sana longs to find her mother so much that she apprentices herself to the witch, learns the magic of making and unmaking, and fashion herself a pair of legs to go ashore on the 37 dark islands. There she stumbled into a wall of white roses and a community desperate for a miracle, and into a baroness who would do anything to live forever. So it's still interesting. I would have never picked it up, but I saw it there, and why not? I finally bought Belladonna by Adeline Grace, and I don't know why. It was a book that I was never interested immediately, but I always saw it and I was like, okay, let's see. And every single time I was reading, the blurb behind, I was like, no, it's not for me. But then now it's for me. I don't know why. I know it's a trilogy, it's completed, so that's great. And it's about this orphaned girl, Sigma Farrow, that's being raised by a single guardian, each more interested in her wealth than her well-being, and each has met an untimely end. Her only remaining relatives are the Word of Thorns, an extended family living in a Forum Grove, an estate both glittering and gloomy. When her spirits appear claiming she's poison, Signa realizes that this family could be in grave danger and enlists the help of a surly stable boy to hunt down the killer. Everyone loves this book, so I hope I will do too, and I'll let you know, of course. I bought another book from Abby Minnis, A Part of Your World. I've never read anything from her. I got another book. I think I got the Happy Ever After playlist, and I want to see the hype. And I got this one because other people talk really good about this one. And it's about Alexi Montgomery. I think she's a doctor, an ER doctor. And then she finds this other guy, which is a little bit younger than her, that he's actually living a completely different lifestyle. So it's kind of like navigating both two. And yeah, let's see. I hope I will like Abby Menace. I really hope so. Last two, I have Dead Water by C.A. Fletcher. And this one is really out of my comfort zone. This is an atmospheric, suspenseful tale of folk horror and isolation within a small island community. It's a freaking horror. I only read 1 or 2, but this sounds so interesting. It's so interesting. Like a waterborne blight hits a small village on a remote Scottish island. Residents are a mix of island-born and newcomers seeking a slower life away from the modern world, who all have their own secrets, some much darker than others. Rumors claim the Bly may be a case of mass hysteria, or even a long-buried curse. But when the ferry service fails and phone towers go down, unease grows into nightmarish ordeal as the harmonious fabric of the community is irreversibly torn apart. I love the cover as well, and I think it's going to be a good book for Halloween time. Last one is A Sweet Nightmare by Tracy Wolff. I've never read anything from her. I know that she did other books, but I've seen them around, but never read. I have, I think, Starbringer, if I'm not mistaken, that I haven't read, but I wanted to get this one as well. And it's a YA, so hopefully it's going to be a little bit like easier, quick read. And you have this girl that she's 17-year-old. Her mother is actually a headmaster, or she runs the Calder Academy, which is an academy where you have vampires, werewolves, witches, and dark fae. And then there's some things happening in that academy, and of course there's a love interest as well. And I'm interested. I mean, why not? 70% off all these ones, so it's perfect. So I'll let you know what I think when I read it. Alright, so those are all the books that I bought in the last month, basically mid-April until now, and I can't wait to read them all. I can't lift them up all because that's too freaking heavy, but I am super happy. I'm excited to read all of them. I can't read them all in one go, unfortunately, so it has to be little by little. But yes, I'm happy. I really am. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hope you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, ciao.